Happy and energetic day, dear children. I am welcoming you back to English Corner. See here, beautiful rainbow and the balloons were carried by the bear. And the sun is smiling and shining. It was very nice picture. By seeing this picture, everybody, I asked 20 persons about this picture. Just a small survey. I'm sharing with you about this. I hope this will be an outline for the poem, introduction of the poem, really. Right? So 20%. I asked to 20% about this picture. Let me see the picture clearly. You see the picture. Beautiful. How many bears are there? 1, 2, 3. Balloons. Nearly 3 plus 3, 6 balloons are there. And this picture were liked by most of them. Okay, out of 20, 19 liked this picture and one person said, I need another picture, right? So that one person is different. How do we call them? That is what is an outline of today's poem. Shall we see what is the topic of the poem? Yes, ready. The rebel. What is the topic? The rebel. Do you know anyone who always disagree with you and your friends? Or likes to do the opposite of what everyone thinks they should do? Think of a word to describe such a person. That is what is the question I asked when you see the welcome figure. Right? So such persons are generally called as what? The rebel. Now we are going to read a poem about the rebel. And before entering into the poem, we have to see about the author and we have to see about the definition of the rebel. Right? Shall we? Now we'll move on to the next slide. Who is the author, dear? D.J. Enright. In your book, it is given D.J. Enright. Dennis Joseph Enright. He lived between 11th March 1920 to 31st December 2002. He was a British academic poet, novelist and critic. British academic. He was very good in academic session. Poet, you know who was a poet, novelist who writes novels. Critic. What is it? Critic. He used to say which is right and which is wrong. He points out the wrong things. That is what critic. He spent the best part of 25 years lecturing abroad in Japan, Thailand, and Singapore to name but a few of the Far East countries he explored. Explored. What does it mean by explore? Check in your dictionary. We'll discuss this. And the New York Times. This is a famous newspaper, right? What it tells about the poet. Who is the poet? D.J. Enright. About the poet. When he died that time in New York Times. This was a clipping. Newspaper cutting. I just segregated that newspaper cutting alone. A small part of a newspaper cutting for you in New York Times. D.J. Enright, poet and novelist, dies at 82. The age of 82, he dies. This is an article here. This is a model of how to write an article, right, for you. This was published January 12, 2003. Okay, D.J. Enright, a British poet, novelist, and critic, whose ironic, self-deprecatory, minimalist verse was admired by writers but never won much of a public following, died last Tuesday in London. He was 82. Now, this is the New York Times article. So, the difficult words that you have to underline and notice that how the words are used, right? Ironic, self-deprecatory, minimalist words. So minimalist words, the criticism or the words which he is using will be admired by other writers. That means you think how powerful his words will be. He used such a beautiful words. He played using words. I can say that his words will be very, very powerful. He was sharply aware of poverty and sickness, especially in the Far East, where he spent much of his working life teaching English literature at universities. In the poem A Polished Performance, he spoke of searching for an innocent and unspoiled Asian girl. We saw a word explored and relate to this and try to find the meaning of explore, right? So I hope you understood about the poet D.J. Enright. Shall we move? The Rebel. So this is the poem which is given in your book. When everybody has short hair, the rebel lets his hair grow long. When everybody has long hair, the rebel cuts his hair short. When everybody talks during the lesson, the rebel doesn't say a word. When nobody talks during the lesson, the rebel creates a disturbance. When everybody wears a uniform, the rebel dresses in fantastic clothes. When everybody wears fantastic clothes, the rebel dresses soberly. In the company of dog lovers, the rebel expresses a preference for cats. In the company of cat lovers, the rebel puts in a good word for dog. So this is the first page in your poem. We'll see the meaning two lines, right? And before that, we have to discuss about rebel, right? We have to be clear with the concept of rebel. Then we will enter into the poem. Now, what is rebel? It's a noun. A person who refuses allegiance to resist or rises in arms against the government or ruler of his or her own country. Or if I didn't understand this, again I have a confusion of what is a rebel. A person who stands up or defies authority. What is mean by defies? Again, the second definition also is not clear. I have a doubt in one word, right? An example of a rebel is a person involved in a political uprising. An example of a rebel is a teenager who is defying his parents. Even now, if you didn't understand, you can able to guess what defies it, right? Any guesses? Fantastic. It was against. It was against. Now read the definition. Definition of a rebel is a person who stands up to or against authority. An example of a rebel is a person who involved in a political uprising. An example of a rebel is a teenager who is against his parents, who is speaking against his parents, who is against the political parties. So now a rebel is a person who is against everything. Is it clear here? Rebel. Okay, now still more deeper into the rebel. They value spontaneity and the freedom to do things. Very good. Freedom to do things. When they feel like doing them, they'll do it. There is no restriction. They will not stick on the restrictions. They want to be free. They want to be independent in doing all things. Rebels are independent minded and want their life to be a true expression of their values, which are often unconventional. They find conventional living tedious and boring, and they want to enjoy being a bit eccentric, right? So we are leading a life which we will feel very secured with the social neighborhood which we are living in. think about other people also, what they'll speak, what they'll think of us, etc., etc., all this. But a rebel will never bother about anything. They are independent minded. What is good versus bad about a rebel? It is good to have rebels because very few have the power to oppose the decision of the majority. They think differently and fearlessly stand with their choices, which can be beneficial. Good. That is good thing. What is bad or which is not good? It is not good to rebel oneself because no one will like you. If you are a rebel, no one will like you. That is a bad thing about a rebel, or which is not good for a person. Right? Is it clear, dear? About a rebel? Right? Now the first two lines. When everybody has short hair, the rebel lets his hair grow long. See here, all are having short hair, even the small cute girl. But what a rebel will like, the rebel like to grow his hair in a long manner. He wants to be different. He wants everything to be different. He wants his mind to be free and independent. Whatever he or she thinks, that has to happen. That is what is a rebel. So rebel wants his hair to grow long. Is there any doubt in these two lines here? Shall we move to the next two lines? Right? When everybody has long hair, then the rebel cuts his hair short. See here, everybody is having a very long hair. All these girls are having a very long hair. But what a rebel will do? A rebel cuts his hair. Already her hair is very long. But now what happens is she cuts her hair to a very short hair. Now can you able to understand what is the characteristic of a rebel? When everybody has long hair, the rebel cuts his hair short. Here they are describing the rebel as a boy itself, but a rebel may be a boy or may be a girl also. Why? Girls doesn't have the rebellion character? Do you think so? Most of the girls will be a rebel. Sometimes I saw so many students having a rebellion character, right? So now can you able to understand these two lines? When everybody has long hair, the rebel cuts his hair short. Yes, clear? Shall we move into the next two lines? When everybody talks during the lesson, the rebel doesn't say a word. See here, beautifully this I like this slide actually, because see the description of real classroom. Everybody is raising hands and talking something for or fighting for their chances, right? Everybody talks during the lesson, but the rebel here was in his own world. What he is doing? He's simply imagining something. He is in his own world, like he's sitting on a dinosaur fighting. The dinosaur is fighting. Something is imagining. Okay, the teacher is coming and slapping him. All these imaginations are going on, right? The rebel doesn't even say a single word. He was traveling in a small bird dinosaur, all these. He was in his own world. But everybody here in the class was learning. Okay, lessons. Right, this is what is the real description of a rebel. Now time passes, he is not bothered about the time. He is not bothered about the teacher. He is not bothered about anybody, friends also.